Joe Garrison, the former gravedigger of S.H.I.E.L.D., and the man everyone is calling the new Punisher, is running from the police because Joe is still the prime suspect in his family's murder, as his body was not amongst the deceased at the scene of the crime. And in addition to this, Garrison's heart rate is dramatically increasing, and it's not due to the parkour that he's doing above these rooftops. Joe is experiencing a toxin-induced level of fear. Toxins that belong to, drumroll, wait for it, the Fear Master, aka Ariel Tremor, who is the daughter of Mr. Fear, as in Mister Fear, right? Like a mist of fear. Yeah, this D-list Cobra reject bitch that stole the Predator's hair. Now, this isn't subtitled The Other Side of Fear for no reason, as we're about to see what happens when intense fear meets the mind of our new Punisher. Garrison might as well be a part of a circus because in this third installment of The Punisher, he has to juggle two pursuing officers, Fearmaster and her unwanted toxic seduction, an elevating heart rate, and fear-induced hallucinations of his deceased wife and children, who looks like Michael Jackson from the Thriller video. It's as if Garrison is the one being punished. But Garrison manages to escape the clutches of the Fearmaster as he battles her through what appears to be some sort of abandoned warehouse that she has redecorated to suit her needs, her sick, sadistic needs, as we're going to find out here in a moment. In his time away from her, though, the burned image of his wife and children confront him. The fear is so intense and the hallucinations are so vivid that Joe even imagines the actual dynamite in his hand exploding. And he's just like, no, 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 not again, right? That horrific day when he was just returning from the grocery store, probably Whole Foods with some groceries, and then before he can even enter the house, kabloom. This imagined dream state that Garrison is in serves as the Punisher's engine room because this is where the work is done to turn this once S.H.I.E.L.D. assassin into a career vigilante, the Punisher. Now, Garrison's his deceased wife, she places the burden of the mission on him, stating that their death was only the beginning, it was the catalyst. There are more victims, and she leads him to the basement of the Fearmaster that is filled with these mutilated torsos that are attached to a bunch of wires and cables. This is that sick, sadistic part, that moment that I was telling you guys about. I don't really know what the Fearmaster, what she's into, or why she has these like torsos of these cadavers like attached to all these cables. If she's trying to like get some kind of Wi-Fi or something for her fear toxins, I don't know. But it looks like a twisted, gore-filled horror film. And Joe is rightfully so terrified, right? He just wants it to end. He wants to be with his family. Garrison, in his line of work, is not really afraid of death at all. He, knows it's a natural part of life and the natural way of things. But basically his wife, she tells him that they're not going to let him get off that easily and that he has this mission to do. And basically the only way for Garrison to reunite with his family is to avenge them, all of them. And that is exactly what Garrison plans to do. First order of business is to stop the Fearmaster from killing the second officer and then clear his name of any involvement with the murder of his family. And I just love this image of Garrison just bursting through some wooden fixture on the side of the wall there and just Goldberg spearing that serpent bitch. He then proceeds to pummel her to a pulp as sentimental images of his family flash before his eyes in cadence with each blow. A series of punches, though, isn't enough to take out the Fearmaster, so Garrison assumes a UFC-like rear naked choke position and snaps that bitch's neck, timed with a nice image of his family. Objective 1 is complete. Now Garrison shows the surviving officer enough evidence to clear his name, identifies the Fearmaster's sponsor as his family's killer, and even tips the officer of their next planned attack. All in a day's work, right? Now, while this was going on, Joe's partner in crime, AAA, had a little action herself as two unknown individuals broke into her base of operations to kidnap her. AAA did put up a decent fight, but was eventually subdued and taken to an undisclosed location. Those responsible go by the name of Jigsaw, and they use AAA as blackmail to keep Garrison from derailing their next plans. threatening to end her life if he interferes. Who is Jigsaw? And why did they target Garrison's wife in the first place? And what are they planning next? As a side note, I do find the similarities between Frank Castle and Joe Garrison uncanny. Castle lost his wife and children. Garrison lost his wife and children. Castle sought revenge. Garrison sought revenge. Castle has a villain named Jigsaw, who's just one man, just one character. And Garrison now seemingly has an entire group with the same name. The difference so far, though, is that Castle was a bit more mental than Garrison, had a bit more, loose strings upstairs, if you know what I mean. And Frank Castle actually enjoyed killing criminals, as we saw in the just his entire prolific murderous career in the Marvel comic universe, and especially in the last volume of Punisher with Jason Aaron. So we don't actually yet know Joe Garrison's mental state about the job. We know that he was S.H.I.E.L.D.'s gravedigger. He was an assassin. He has about, I believe, 84 or so confirmed kills to his name, which is a fraction of what Frank Castle has. So we don't know yet if he enjoys it. Did he just see it as kind of a job, a way to feed and provide for his family? Or was there some kind of tick, some kind of X factor in Garrison that, where he loved what he did? I don't know. But basically, all in due time, we're going to find out. And thank you guys for tuning in. If you've made it this far, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Trademark Comics.